Dawn sets on another rush day as you sit at your chosen gaming station. You just saw a text from the homie who you just saw at work a couple hours ago, but the text is familiar. You trying to play some Halo? Yeah, of course, Halo is great, but there's only one problem. You suck at Halo. You're not new at it, you just know enough to know you're terrible. And the homie, he sucks too. Do you really want to jump online and get handled by some kids half your age? Do you really want that out of your Halo experience? Well, no worries, there's Firefight to give you all the tools you need and more. People underestimate how important Firefight is to Halo. Microsoft underestimates it. The people underestimate it. Because if they knew how important it was, they would make sure the game mode was established as part of the Halo experience, gameplay-wise and narratively. They don't really respect its capacity to create narrative, so we as Firefight players are stuck doing it ourselves. Though Firefight may seem like a place for people to go who lack dexterity and the mental quickness to play real Halo multiplayer, it actually holds a place in the hearts of us aging gamers that the younger generation just won't understand. See, you guys have a plethora of PvE options, PvE shooters, PvE fighting games, whatever you want to choose from now. But back in the late 2000s, there wasn't an oversaturation of these PvE options. Call of Duty Zombies had just taken hold of the gaming public from World of War, and besides that, we had a few other games like Left 4 Dead, which is all-time classic and goated in my eye. But it wasn't until Halo 3 ODST release where we got a real PvE option for Halo besides the campaign. You see, the Halo sandbox had already been established by Halo 3, but there was one issue. We all know how groundbreaking the Halo AI is. With your enemies showing character and decision making, we really don't see it all in modern gaming. They illustrate a spectrum from fearful to overconfident, and they behave in such a manner. Each unit holds a place in the Covenant hierarchy, and unfortunately the only ways for players to experience this was through the campaign, and only 2 people can experience it at a time together. It was a limit that so what the Halo experience could be short. Halo multiplayer is cool, but it's more competitive than immersive. You have to be turned on the entire time, ready to support, then and especially now, and winning is the apex, no doubt. We know what it feels like to win in a multiplayer game. Goated feeling. But there's something different about Firefight. You still need to move with urgency, think about what you're doing, but you have time to enjoy, to joke, to laugh, to roast, and that's one of the unintended consequences of the OG Firefight. You had to make friends to play Firefight. There was no matchmaking. So if you didn't want to run solo Firefight, you had to plug that mic in and make some friends. This meant you often played with the same people, the same fire team, night after night, 6-pack after 6-pack, bowl after bowl, and the time spent together grew, and I actually think that's what Halo is really about. And side note, this is what the TV show didn't understand. It's about spending time with the homies and sacrificing against a greater threat. Doing your best by your own means, whether you're a recruit or a Spartan. We are all brothers through circumstance and shared goals. And the first iteration of Firefight really illustrates this, ODST. So let's look at it. When the first iteration of Firefight came out, you didn't actually play as a Spartan. You were actually just an ODST member, and that actually has some real consequences to the gameplay. I think the big difference between ODST, Firefight, and the later Firefight from Halo Reach is there's just a sense of you're fighting for people, for civilians, and you can really feel it. Like if you look at the maps, it seems to be all city structures, all places where civilians, not military personnel, you're protecting civilians, and this makes it that much more important. Like you have to, like little Susie, she needs to go to school, or you want your son to be able to ride his bike, or you want to be able to go to the mall or whatever. This is what you're fighting for, the people, and your actual soldier. He's very limited in movement. In later Halo games, they added many different movement abilities, armor abilities. These are not present in this iteration, a firefight. It is just you, your slow-moving character, and the weapons that he can commandeer, and that's it. And that makes this such a great first iteration. Like, it's almost poetic. Like, we're gonna start boots on the ground, and there's some other kind of strange gameplay choices that they made that at the time may be looked at as a negative, but today it helps separate it from other versions of Firefight. For instance, the visor. The visor is very controversial. It's just different the way that it overwhelms the player. You cannot play Halo ODST without recognizing that you're wearing this visor. And when you press select, you don't have the normal Halo score screen. It is its own screen. You are not a Spartan. You don't have information that you shouldn't have. You don't know your teammate's score. You only know what you've done. And in the end, we'll give you the after action report, and you can see how everyone done. But while you're battling, while you're out there, it is just you. And there's even some graphical irregularities that separate Halo ODST from the other Halo games. Like, there's this unusual bloom that's very dark, and it just gives this almost ominous feeling over the entire game. Like, you can really tell. You load up a match of ODST compared to Reach, and it's like night and day. Like, you can really tell the difference. And like, at the time, I bet people complained about it, but now, because we have so many Halo games and so many options, it's actually just an artistic choice that I enjoy when I play ODST. It's like, oh, this is very, very dark. And like, I know graphically it's dark, but it also kind of, the theme of ODST of like, you're not all powerful, you're kind of helpless, as in you need like a Spartan to come in and save the day. And so the darkness, in a way, is kind of like a great choice for graphically. It doesn't, like, maybe if you just play Halo 3 and then you play this and you see the difference and you're like, I just can't deal with this. But like I said, we have so many choices that it's almost as if, oh, this is the one that's different. This is the one that looks different, and I really like that. And so just your character being very limited, you mostly protecting civilian structures, and the fact that you do really need your team in ODST. It is really an awesome start to the Firefight brand. The Firefight, I don't want to say brand, because calling something a brand kind of sucks. Don't call it, but the third pillar of Halo, which campaign, multiplayer are the two which are established, but the third, Firefight, ODST did a great job, and I don't even think they tried to. I don't think they meant it. I just think it was circumstance that, hey, this version of Firefight, narratively and gameplay wise, fits with the game that we released. Because we haven't even talked about the actual gameplay. Just amazing. Just you and the homies pinned down, doing your best. And no matter what game mode you pick, the challenge has to be there. I think for any Halo game, it's hard for it to be enjoyable without the challenge being there, because without the challenge, there's no reason for you to do anything. You can just point and click on heads if it's too easy. But when the challenge is there, when you need to rely on your brothers, like, no game really compares. When Halo Reach came out, there was an opportunity for them to redo Firefight, but this time as a Spartan. And with the new additions to the Halo Reach gameplay in general, it made the Firefight much more dynamic, and it gave players many opportunities to roleplay, play different types of Spartan. And just in general, just another great addition to Firefight. I think the main difference between the two iterations are you can really tell you're powerful in the Halo Reach version of Firefight. Like, you have all these options, and every player, besides their two weapons, every player is capable of doing a lot of damage individually. And you also just have that return to that classic Halo feel where you can see everyone's score. It's not competitive like multiplayer, but it is still competitive, as you can see how everyone's doing. And also, this is funny, but ordnance drops, another thing added to Firefight that isn't in ODST, giving you more player power that you didn't have before. A return to the kind of not bright, but brighter graphical style compared to ODST, and you do have something that seems very, very, very different. The question of which of the two is better, it just will probably depend on your personal preference. I think people who are looking for a challenge and more narrative, I guess, backing will probably like ODST more, because there's just power in limiting a player. And the people who want that classic Halo Spartan power fantasy, they're probably gonna lean towards Halo Reach. And also, even though Halo Reach is kind of a depressing game, the actual Firefight does seem to have more of a, like, there's two ways to look at military media. Most military media is anti-war and anti-conflict. I think Halo Reach's Firefight is not like that. It leans towards the fun and the options and the sandbox of, like, how big the sandbox is, how many options in the sandbox you can, like, the spectacle of it all. It doesn't proselytize. It doesn't preach to you. It doesn't preach to you. Whereas ODST, even though it's still fun, you can feel that you know you're at war. Luckily for us, with the PC release of Halo Master Chief Collection, these two iterations of Firefight will probably live forever, and that is awesome. They have matchmaking now, which they didn't have before, and the matchmaking may not be for everyone. I think for certain squads, the matchmaking may be too easy, but there's also custom games now, because Halo has become one of the most modded games ever now. And so even custom Firefight games are very, very popular. You can get 8 friends. There is some limits to Firefight that haven't been addressed yet, and they honestly, in my opinion, they haven't done anything or much of anything to it to make it better in Halo Immortal. That wasn't done better in previous games, which is disappointing. It doesn't seem like they understand how important Firefight is. It seems like we're going to continue to get garbage iteration of the mode, or it's going to take them a year, 6 months or whatever post-release for them to actually release it. And at that point, you can tell that it's not really a priority to them. They don't understand. Like, and I haven't even gotten into what you can do with Firefight. I've only mostly talked about what Firefight is. Like, I haven't talked about what they left on the table, what they don't do with it narratively and gameplay wise. Like, everything should be in Firefight. Everything should be an option, but it's not, and that's disappointing. But yeah, and if you're listening, thank you for listening. I might have more to say about Firefight. I've spent a lot of time playing Firefight. I probably won't talk about anything I don't spend a lot of time on. And yeah, also, if you're interested in the music, Insane in the Rain music, check it out. 100%. Like, if he wants to monetize this, please do. If anyone listens to this enough to where it can get monetized, he deserves every dime. I'm only talking, but this man puts in the work. But thank you for listening, and have a good one. Also, listening back, I just realized I called it Halo Immortal and not Halo Infinite. That is a mistake. Just pretend like you didn't hear it, or don't pretend. It was a Freudian slip. I think I just Halo Immortal, Diablo Immortal, Halo Infinite, Diablo Infinite. Just poorly monetized games. It's all the same. Peace.